In a study decades ago near natural gas wells in a New Mexico woodland dominated by pinon trees, researchers found that there were 75% fewer pinon pine seedlings in noisy sites than in quiet ones. Researchers recently returned to the sites and found that in the areas where natural gas companies used loud compressors as part of the extraction process, there were fewer seeds and saplings compared to the sites where compressors were not used. This decrease resulted from the time when the site was noisy, but it revealed that the pinon pine seeds were still not sprouting despite the noise reduction. It is highly likely that the scrub jay species of birds have not returned to the formerly noisy area and so are not planting the seeds. Pinons depend on scrub jays to carry the seeds away from the parent tree, and scrub jays are known to avoid noise. Take a look at the question. Which of the following, if true, would most likely undermine the author's conclusion? Option A. The overall population of the scrub jay species of birds has increased across the world due to the wildlife conservation techniques. Option B. The scrub jay species of birds are known to move in flocks and are playful and animated. Option C. In another experiment conducted by a different set of scientists, the scrub jay species of birds were found to be greatly disturbed by the noise. Option D. The population of rattlesnakes and bobcats, which are predators of the scrub jay species, has increased significantly in the past few years in the New Mexico woodland area. So first let us try to find the author's claim here. The author's conclusion is towards the end that the scrub jay species of birds have not returned to the formerly noisy area and therefore they are not planting the seeds. This is the author's conclusion. We have to undermine the conclusion. So another way, we have to weaken the conclusion. So we have to prove that the author's conclusion is wrong. We have to give proof that the author's conclusion is wrong. So first let's try to understand how do you weaken the conclusion? So this is the weakened conclusion. The conclusion states that the scrub jay species have not returned to the formerly noisy area and are not planting the seeds. We have to prove that the scrub jay birds have returned to the formerly noisy area and they are planting the seeds. So we have to prove this. How do we prove that? Now take a look at the options. Option A. The overall population of scrub jay species of birds has increased across the world due to wildlife conservation techniques. A is again incorrect because this strengthens and it does not weaken. We have to prove that the scrub jay species of birds have returned to the noisy area. So option A can be eliminated. Next, moving on to option B, the scrub jay species of birds are known to move in flocks and are playful and animated. Now B is incorrect because this is clearly irrelevant to the argument. While they may move in flocks and playful, this option has nothing to weaken the argument. So option B is eliminated. Moving on to option C. In another experiment conducted by a different set of scientists, the scrub jay species of birds were found to be greatly disturbed by noise. Now again, C is again going to strengthen the argument because when they say that they were greatly disturbed by noise, that means they were not returning to the formerly area. Got it? They were not returning to the area because they were clearly disturbed by the noise. So therefore C is eliminated because that will strengthen the argument. Moving on to option D, the population of rattlesnakes and bobcats, which are predators of the scrub jay species, has increased significantly in the past few years in New Mexico woodland area. D will strengthen the argument because if you look at option D, it clearly talks about population of rattlesnakes and bobcats, which are the main predators, they have increased. So if they have increased, it clearly means that the scrub jay species have returned to the formerly noisy area, right? That's why the predators have increased because the supply for scrub jay species has increased. So D is the right answer for this question.